Hundreds of stately mansions once lined Long Island's North Shore. It was known as the Gold Coast. But over the years, many of these aging mansions were lost, knocked down to make way for new development. But some have survived and are now open to the public. Chris Collora takes us to one of these restored mansions that's now a nature center.
This four-story mansion in Muttontown was once known as Fairleigh. It is a Georgian Revival-style mansion with 46 rooms built for George S. Brewster in 1912. Brewster was the heir to an oil fortune, and his family lived there from 1914 to 1968. The mansion was sold off and became the Charter Oaks Country Club in the 1970s. After the country club folded, like many other abandoned Gold Coast mansions, it was ravaged by vandals.
The house was stripped of everything. There wasn't a doorknob left. The paneling was stolen. The pilasters in the living room were stolen. The goldfish were stolen from the pond and sold to a local pet shop. They basically said, this house is going to be torn down. I didn't really think that anyone was going to save it.
The mansion was rescued in 1996 by new owners who fell in love with the idea of restoring the home to its former glory.
The first time I walked into this house and it stood here, the doors wide open, the water came through the walls, I felt a very strong presence of how beautiful it once was.
Very big undertaking. The house is about 38,000 square feet. So it's been restored all the way from the basement straight through to the fourth floor in the attic. And it was very sympathetic to the original details in the Brewster family. When a lot of people walk through the house now, they sort of miss, unless we have the photos, what we did.
Perhaps one of the most challenging aspects of this restoration project was restoring old fixtures in the home that had either disappeared or been destroyed by vandals. In some cases, all they had to work with were old photographs.
We had to replace the architectural details that were ripped out of the house. And luckily, at that time, at an early time, the family came forward and gave me original pictures of a 1918 photo shoot that was done by Town and Country magazine. And then we really could see that what kind of architectural details we needed to replace.
Today, the mansion is called the Hoffman Center. It is still accessible to the public as a nature preserve. Hoffman Center remains an example of how surviving Gold Coast mansions can be restored and preserved as historical reminders of the past and can be used as teaching tools for the future.
A house that literally would have been torn down in any other circumstance was brought back to be one of the best preserved houses on the North Shore of Long Island.
The preservation of these houses is also to preserve our history. History is part and history is future. If we do not tell our children what has once been, where are they going from there? That's my question.
In Muttontown, Chris Collora, LI News Tonight.